got a message from Clutch VR the other week. They said, hey, we like the channel, we like your content. Thank you, Clutch. We want to send you some stuff to test out. And it's been so busy that I literally have not gone back in to see what they sent. Let's just find out together. Now, from the little bit I gleaned when I did look over their website, it looks like Clutch VR, Quest 2 accessories. I imagine there's some kind of an interface in here, and I don't really know what else. Boy, the poor unboxing knife is not unboxing things like it used to. Gotta use that sharp tip instead of the long edge. So this looks like a 3D printed microfiber cloth holder with 3M double stick tape on it so that you can stick this somewhere handy and always have your cloth ready to then clean your Quest. Interesting. I wouldn't think you'd stick it directly to the Quest, but maybe right where you store it on a wall or something, you can pull it, put it back on. That's kind of neat. VR working on a better box. I kind of like that they're using a QR code. That's cool. And all we know is it's 9mm. Unboxing round 2. Okay, knife handled the tape fine that time. Got a facial interface, custom Clutch VR name on it, and Microban. So as much as I know from just the brand name, that's like an antimicrobial brand. So this is ideally, I'm guessing, supposed to be like a fitness facial interface. It's obviously meant to like absorb the sweat, so it'd keep the sweat out of your eyes, but then it would not get as germy and gross and smelly because of the Microban. So that's a cool idea. Antimicrobial technology that works as hard as you do, provides an extra layer of defense against unpleasant odors, blah, blah, blah. It's a stiff facial interface. So a lot of the newer ones have been more flexible, and I've liked that. This definitely feels like it's based a little bit off of an older design. It has a few vents up in the corners, although they're partially covered by the pad itself, so they're probably not gonna give you a lot of venting action. Silicone nose cover, pretty stiff silicone. I feel like maybe a little bit further of a slit for bigger nose people, because I know I review stuff and I'm like, oh, it's great. And then sometimes people are like, hey, my nose didn't fit in there like yours did. So fits okay for mine, but for other people that might not hurt. Little durability test right there. That didn't break the facial interface. I guess to test this, of course, I'm gonna take my Bobo VR off, which means I am gonna miss my fan. You know me, I really like fans on facial interfaces because they keep the lenses from fogging up. So unfortunately, this doesn't seem to have an option for that. Let's see how it installs. There's like an extra snap you don't usually get with these, and you have to like snap it harder and then it stays. For a second, I thought it was just gonna keep bouncing out, but once I really pushed it in, it goes. It's actually staying in. It's staying in a lot better than most facial interfaces, I'll give it that. Because a lot of them, you just put any pressure here and it just pops out instantly. This one, it will pop out. The question with any facial interface though is after a few times of doing this, are the knobs in there gonna start to wear out? And then it'll pop out all the time. The hard plastic doesn't seem to be taking any damage at all yet, which is a good sign. I had that one that like the first time I pulled it out, it broke the little knobs. I hear the front snap in good, so I know that's solid. But man, now it doesn't even wanna, it just doesn't want to stay in, and then it would never work again. So that was really bad. Well, I'm gonna do a little multitasking here. I've got to test here. Some of you might be wondering what the heck this is. I got to test this outdoor UV light filter that you can play a Quest 2 with outside. So at the same time, we're gonna take this whole Quest out and try and play a game out in the great outdoors while I play with this facial interface on here. Boy, the facial interface, it really kills the Lightbleed, I've got to say, because most of them I'll get Lightbleed in the sides in here, and I'm not getting that, but obviously the nose part still has some gaps. So I mean, if I really wanted to, yeah, I could respond to a text out here. In fact, let's go take a look at Clutch VR store and find out how much this thing costs. Free shipping on USA orders over $50. At Clutch VR, we're all about raising the bar in the VR industry with our top-notch gear. We ship from our California warehouse. I was surprised it didn't say coming in clutch or something like that on the page.
How did we miss that?
Clutch VR Pro Face Foam per Quest 2, $30. That's gotta be this whole thing, right? That's not just foam, that's the facial interface. I feel like that could use a different name because that makes me think it's just the foam for it. Ah, the Clutch VR ClothCaddy is $4, and that actually is intended if you want to. Hook that thing on your Quest 2 and always have your cloth handy to wipe your lenses if you need. You can get some Clutch VR. You didn't send me a Clutch VR sweater with this?
Oh, now I'm sad.
Then I could have worn that while I was testing it all. It's okay, it's okay. I know that sweaters aren't cheap. It's 35 bucks, that's not cheap. Okay, yeah, I think you should change the name on your website to like facial interface plus foam, because it looks like it's just foam, but that's all the products there, so it's gotta be this. Let's head outside. Facial interface tested. I finally looked at the paper they sent. It said, Jay, thanks so much for checking us out. Josh, I always like when there's a little personal note in there. I want to say thank you for that. And Josh, I hope that you are as thankful after what I have to say about the product here. Unfortunately, I wouldn't recommend this facial interface. Couple reasons. One, I personally always use one with a fan. So when I put this thing on when I was in here, especially because it's a little damp in here, it's cloudy outside, and so it's a little damp. It was fogging up on me immediately. And once you've had a fan, it's hard to go back to not having a fan. A fan gets rid of that fog, keeps your face nice and fresh. That was tough. Two, it really comes down to the price. And unfortunately, I saw that you're shipping out of America, so maybe you're producing these in America and that will make them cost more, but there's so many facial interfaces on Amazon that are way under $30. I feel like if you really want this to reach people, it needs to be under $30. Like it needs to be lower, because you can get all kinds of facial interfaces for $15, $20 on Amazon. And then the biggest killer of all, I had said this earlier, I didn't think it was gonna bug me with my nose, but oh man, the weight of the Quest after a while, it was all landing on my nose bridge and just pushing. I don't know if it's still red right now, but that thing was really pushing on my nose. If I had gotten this and I was just gonna keep using it, I would cut this a little bit further myself, which I've done with facial interfaces before. In fact, sometimes you can even just pull them. Oh, well, that wasn't as nice of a straight cut as it could have been, but that's better already. And then, of course, for me personally, facial interfaces, I don't like them to soak up my sweat. I'll put a sweatband on it if I want to. To me, I hate passing it around, and it holds the sweat. And it's not like it came with alternate pads. At $30, if it came with 3 alternate pads to swap between people, I would say that's also much more worth the price, but you're kind of stuck handing it to the next person in whatever shape it's in with this. So that's rough for me. But this, I love the innovation, the thought. I like the price point on this. I actually think this is a neat idea. I wouldn't attach it to my Quest, but for people who want it handy with their Quest, I could see that. I would put it probably like on the shelf where my Quest is stored right next to it, so I'd have it quick to grab. But I will use this. I like this.
This right here is my favorite thing.
And then of course the Clutch VR sweaters and stuff too. I mean, I didn't get to try those, but I love any sort of VR merch, anything like that. I like to see that come up. So some stuff to check out on the website. We'll leave a link to their website with a note that I don't recommend the facial interface, but the other stuff might be worthwhile. And I'd love to know in the comments if you're interested in something like this because you have a hard time keeping your cloth somewhere, or if this is just something that to you is a cool innovation. I'd love to hear about it. But hey, again, thank you Clutch for sending the stuff. I got something in my eyes from being outside. Hang on. Oh, it's allergy season here.
I'm allergic to everything.
Thank you again to Clutch for sending stuff out. Thank you for all of you being here watching. We're coming up on 4 years, and any day now, we're gonna hit 40,000 subscribers, which is just wild. I never thought. So thank you so much. I will see all of you in another reality.